The plant that you see in this section is a native to Māori, and we use it in our medicines, in our rongoa. Haere mai te manuhiri tuarangi e, haere mai, haere mai, haere mai.
Haere mai nei te na na
So you've descended into, this here is what we call our gateway, or our waharoa. There was the bigger gateway entering the gardens. I like to bring people straight to the guts, since this is my land, and that's our waharoa. Our waharoa signifies chiefs, the chieftainship who are watching out who's coming, That's what those pose mean. Who is that? Are they safe? Which is why it's good that I karanga you in, because it's going to go, they're safe, because you're being greeted properly. So rather than come straight in here, the right protocol is to take the right path. So the right path is to come this way before we enter there. We're going to exit via there. Okay. But I mentioned matariki, if you recall. I said to you all that we have a constellation of stars. When the stars are formed in a right way, generally it takes place around July the 16th, round about winter time. When the stars are all in that alignment, we call that matariki. Matariki is a rebirth, is a time when the dead and the living cross over, is when we intermingle, really intermingle, big time. So when a Māori person passes, if they pass before matariki or after matariki, by the next matariki we take what we call the spirit of that person to a ceremony, a matariki ceremony, so then they can pass off into, you know, the greater ether safely during matariki. So it's good that you see matariki, because this is significant. On a lot of our artwork, the koru, that koru comes from the punga.
Even the mocha.
The moko.
The mocha.
The moko. Things like rubber of the garden. So they're greeting you, and they're dotted all the way along here. From here you can also see the Waikato River. So our river is here.
Waikato.
Yeah, the Waikato River. So the Waikato River, you'll notice if you take an aerial view of the Waikato River, there are lots of bends. Hence why I mentioned Waikato taniwharau, he piko he taniwha, he piko he taniwha. What that means is, on the Waikato River, on every bend there is a taniwha. A taniwha is like a god, a protector. So on every bend of the Waikato River, mythologically, although our people know that to be real, on every bend there is a god keeping a watch. Because on every bend of the river my people lived in their little communities. Obviously they were slaughtered, so they are no more. Gosh, this is special. I get to share this with you. Very cool.
Meant to be.
Meant to be. Absolutely. Okay, let's go. Main part is very cool. At least you all know where to help. Yeah.
This is awesome.
You'll come at a time when our harakeke is about to explode.
Harakeke.
Because these flowers, when they come into bloom, they explode. There is no scent, but the seeds create the harakeke, the flax, which is what our ancestors used to make our clothes, to weave our clothes. Yes,
Even the backpacks. I saw that really.
Yep.
I was given a
Or
backpack.
ancestral what?
Nice. Nice. From history, they spelt it wrong. It's not Tamai Nupo. It's supposed to be Tama N-U-I-P-O. So Tama Nui Tepora is the son of the Sky Father and the Earth Mother. So the Sky Father and the Earth Mother were together. They were one at one stage, and they procreated and all these children couldn't see light of day. There was no light, so it was a stage that we called Iwa. Iwa, a stage of creation, where there was no darkness, there was no light, there was nothing. But there was the Sky Father and the Earth Mother. clenched together. They procreated and procreated. The children were sick and tired of being suffocated. So the one son said, I'm going to separate them. So he did. But he lay on his back and he used his feet. So he lay on his mother, his shoulders against his mother, and used his feet to push the father. Once the two started to separate and the light came in, they realised how beautiful the place was. So Tamanui Tepora is significant because it separated the Sky Father and the Mother Earth.
Is he the son?
He is the
He's
son.
the son. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Beautiful.
Oh, gosh, I always
wow.
feel alive when I come in here.
Ooh,
Okay,
wow.
yeah, so this is how we plant traditionally. So that the gardener who is Māori and his tribe links back to here, he's returned this land to how we garden, how our ancestors used to plant. And we have separate storehouses because we didn't have refrigerators, and to stop vermin and the animals from getting our food, they were placed into storehouses. And we go back to a place called Rangiatea, which is where all creations began. So we go back to where we came from. That's significant to us. So you're going there. Very cool. Very cool. Tepora Herangi is her name. So Tepora Herangi, she said no to the white man. You're not taking any more of our land. You've taken too much already. We need our healing places back. Hence why Tūranga Waewae exists today.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Te Puia Herangi, Kingi Tū Heitia, his mother, that wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Te Puia Herangi. Something to remember, although it appears that men are forever leading us, they're always protecting us. But when our men left our pās or our traditional communities where we lived, who was there to look after us? The women had to step up. But when you go to any ceremony, the first sound you hear is always a woman's voice. Hence the karanga that I gave you here. When you came onto the pōwhiri, the first you hear is a woman's voice. And then the men come out and do their wero and do their haka, you know, and then take care of all the proceedings. But a woman opens everything and a woman closes everything. It's just the way it is. People that you couldn't touch, the people you couldn't look in the eye, because they're the people who gave the incantations and removed all the badness, or were the healers. They were the healers. They're people that couldn't touch food. They had to be fed by special people, so they couldn't touch food because they were what we call so sacred that to touch anything would, gosh, how would you
Take
put it?
from
Taint it.
taint
It would taint it. So they couldn't touch anything because they were that sacred. So they always slept in a separate place to the community. So inside there, although it's a garden and you're only really shown one part of how our community used to live through that garden, because generally inside our marae or our pā, you enter into a village that's got so many of those houses, many houses, and then a main house which is carved, where everyone has their meetings, where everyone has their important meetings and ceremonies. You have many of those. Now, these little, what we call a whare, is where our tohunga, a tohunga kainga, so a kainga means home, their home. Whare means house, or a building. Whare is a building, kainga though is a home. We believe that everything has mana, but some of the mana is lost. So people need to dig it out, but everything has mana. Some mana is more prevalent than others because people walk that old path. So I'm explaining, they're saying hi to us, I'm explaining, it's quite freaky actually. We call a taonga, taonga. So a taonga for us is a gift, taonga. Taonga is special. So you for me are a taonga, no doubt you probably look at me and think I'm a taonga. I'll throw you over my shoulder.